Hi everyone, my name is Serene, and today I want to talk to you about this whole topic of overcoming fears. Okay, people on a daily basis deal with the challenge of overcoming their fears. Okay, and many of them do not even articulate what some of these fears are. And what is interesting is when we are all born, okay, our subconscious mind is basically almost like a blank slate, and we absorb like a sponge the paradigms and the belief systems that people in our environment have, and just external, whatever that's found in the external world, we really absorb it like a sponge. And many of these paradigms continue to shape our current lifestyles without even us realizing, okay, at a subconscious level. Okay, and what is very interesting about this whole topic of fear, okay, is that originally, okay, if you look at it at its natural state, okay, fear is actually there as a protective mechanism, and it's there to help us stay away from danger. It is something that is programmed into us so that we are able to survive. We are able to ensure that we are safe, okay, that we do not fall off a mountain while we are climbing, or that we can run away from danger. Okay, and this kind of fear is actually pretty much natural, okay, and it is something that we just instinctively feel. Okay, however, having said that, okay, a lot of the fears that we face in the modern world today is due to our overactive imagination and due to the belief systems that we have internalized from other people around us that strongly influence us and shapes how we feel and how we go about our daily lives. All right, and as a result of that, it can become extremely crippling, because if you look back in time, okay, you would notice that most of the fears that you had, okay, or that you have experienced before actually didn't come to pass. All right, of course some did, okay, but most of them didn't. Okay, and like I said, that is a result of our imagination, the fact that our mind is really revisiting certain experiences that we had in the past, or revising over things, just going on and on, okay, over things that somebody else have shared with us about their own lives, or perhaps even from the media. Okay, so what I would like to share with you today are 3 very simple techniques that you can use, just practical steps to help you to move through your fears, okay, without having to do anything that is too technical. Okay, so this is not really about neuro-linguistic programming or hypnosis or anything like that. And these are some things that you can do in the comfort of your home or anywhere, right? And the first thing that I would like to share with you is the fact that fear, okay, if you notice, a lot of the fears that we feel are also linked to our physiological state of our bodies. And when we feel fear, usually we are breathing in a very shallow manner. And if you look at our bodies, we are usually slouched and we are very closed up. All right. So one thing that you can do to immediately feel less fearful is to take more deeper breaths and understand that our physiological structures and our physiology is linked to our emotional state. All right, that has been scientifically proven. So just breathe more deeply and slowly and allow the oxygen to renew your strength and to renew your vision as well. All right, so that's the first thing that you can do. Very simple, right? And the next thing that you can do is, first of all, to understand that the reason why we feel fear, all right, is largely because of our focus. Okay, and we feel fear because we are focusing on outcomes that we do not want. In other words, we have a lot of negative expectations about something, an endeavor or an action that we're about to take. All right. So our minds are saturated with all the worst case scenarios, and we play them over and over again in our heads. What if this person doesn't like me? What if I do public speaking and I sound horrible? Okay, what if I fail the exam? What if I do not like it in the new country that I'm moving to? And as a result of that, we become paralyzed. So what we can do then is to change our focus and to change our expectation into something that is more positive. All right, so the moment you find yourself thinking in this manner, you can write it out on a piece of paper or just mentally rehearse at least 3 reasons of what could possibly go right, okay, or what are some of the benefits that you can reap from taking this course of action. And it could in fact be a direct opposite of things that could go wrong. Okay, so instead of saying to yourself, what if I do not end up passing my exam? Okay, start thinking, what if I do pass my exam with flying colors? Okay, what if I do like this new country, this new place that I'm moving to? What if this person that I'm going to ask out really ends up liking me and we start, forming a deeper relationship? And immediately you would realize that when you switch your focus, all right, your emotions change and you are immediately able to liberate yourself from that fear, at least slightly, all right? And it's all about building momentum, okay? So just remember that, okay? The first step is to breathe, and the second step is to ask yourself what could go right instead of focusing on what could go wrong, and to really allow yourself to let that vision of what could go right sink in, okay? Really absorb it, enjoy the sensation, visualize it, okay? And all the details of what could go right. And then you would immediately feel a lot more relaxed, all right? All right. And the third thing that I would like to share with you, this is from my own personal experience, okay? So feel free to experiment with it and see if it works for you, is to actually watch less television. And the reason why I say that is because the television, okay, and the media in general really is saturated with a lot of negative news, okay, pictures of doomsday scenarios, a lot of murders, a lot of gossip, okay, a lot of fear, a lot of things that could go wrong, and our minds and our nervous system is not able to cope, with this overload of negative information. And what happens is when we see such images and we hear such news and we read such news, through the power of repetition, it sticks in our psychology, in our subconscious mind. And as a result of that, it really elevates the fears that we have, okay? So without realizing, sometimes the fears that we have are not even our own fears, but fears that we have actually absorbed from the environment, okay, including the media. So what I would say to you is try watching less television, or at least be more selective on the kind of media that you watch, and try to have a good balance. You want to be entertained, but at the same time, you want to be inspired, so that becomes internalized into your belief system as well, and you realize that you have more enthusiasm for life, and you're just more positive in general. All right, so that would be the third thing that I would encourage you to sort of experiment with it, all right? And I hope that this video has helped you in terms of dealing with your fear. And just remember that we all have fears. Even the most successful athletes and celebrities, even at the peak of their careers, many of them are having nervous breakdowns and feeling afraid, okay? And the key question here is not about getting rid of your fear. I don't think we can never get rid of our fear, but rather how do we move through it so that it doesn't cripple us, and how do we convert and transmute this fear into enthusiasm so that it works for us, all right? So thank you very much for watching, and if you would like to reach out to me, I'm more than happy to hear from you. Thank you, bye, and Happy New Year.